So this is the last session for today. Let's continue building the class treasure chest. Okay, now you said the last condition, which is so again, if we prefer, we can take it easier. We can just say else, and then we put return something. So what are we going to return?
That the attempts is more than 4.
No, what we're going to return? What is the return value that we're going to return?
Oh, 0.
0? Okay. 0 like that. Okay. So again, if we put else, if we're not going to put any if condition to check. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now, so let us yeah. So we already built it here. Let's continue and see if what we have done is correct. So you see?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, as you can see here, he make it on 2 steps, but we just make it on 1 step. So both of them also fine. Okay. Now, okay. Now this is the whole class, and now he's going to create another class. Let me stop here. I don't want to go more on the classes. I would like to give some attention to pseudocode because part of the exam 3 will be pseudocode. So we have to stop here on page 20, and then we continue the next session also on the object-oriented classes. So stop here. Let me open on the pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode. Last time we stopped. We stopped here actually last time. We have completed that part, but let me tell you here. So in the pseudocode, which is slightly basic than Python, so you are not able to fill in. So you are not able to fill in an array just by assigning. Let's say you have a student name array from 1 to 30. You're not able to fill it in when in one line like that. Okay. In Python, we are able to do something like that. Okay, but no, here no. You have to loop through the array and assign each index inside the array with an empty string. So the index here will start from 1 in this case until 30. Pseudocode start from 1, not 30, not 0 like Python. And then you say the next index. So by doing this loop, you go through all the 30 entries inside the array, and you put empty double quotation inside. Okay, you're following up with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now we would like to have a look at something different. Actually, this is called user-defined data types. So the user-defined data types, you have not looked onto this in the AS level before, but because this is a bit new. So here we have something called enumerated type. So this enumerated type can have something that you can actually add or do arithmetic operation on it. So we define something called type season, and then you put whatever values that this season can take in this way. Okay, so that is a kind of defined data type okay? But from the type it's not a composite data type. It's not a composite one, okay? Later on the next page, we will see what is a composite data type. So this is enumerated data type. We will see an example from it. We can even have a look. Yeah, we have a look on the next pages. Another type of the non-composite data type is called a pointer, okay? Pointer and all this kind of complicated stuff was used on all programming language like C and C++. I believe you never heard of that before because it's not so common now. Python doesn't have pointers at all. So what is a pointer? A pointer is it's something like the things that we have on the stack. We have a stack pointer. We have on the queue, we have a front pointer or a rear pointer, right? So a pointer is something that points to a place, okay? But in this kind of case, this points to a place in the memory, okay? It only have an address of a place in the memory. So it doesn't know whatever inside that address. It knows that it points to the address and it have the address of the memory only, okay? So this is defined this way. So have a look here, please. So he used this kind of sign before the data type. So if we want to have a pointer to an integer or even to a character, so we use it in this way, okay? So we use t up front also before the variable name, okay? So we defining a type called type int pointer. It is a pointer to integer. How you know it? From this sign and from that t, okay? And that's we define also a type called type character pointer. It's pointer to a character. It means that it have a memory address of a type that is stored in the memory of a type character, okay? So this is a place in the memory, okay? This place have a character, okay? The character, for example, can be A, like that, sorry. Can be A, okay? The pointer here in our case is pointing to the address. The address can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever address in the memory. We don't care. Whatever address is that, okay? So it doesn't know anything about the A, only knows that it stores the address of the of this place in the memory, okay? So now, how I declare something of that type? So we created a type integer pointer is pointing to an integer place in the memory, and we declare it in this way. So the name of the variable now is called my pointer, and it is of type t int pointer. Does this make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, let's have a look at the composite data type. So composite data type is actually slightly similar to classes in Python. So a composite data type is a type that always use known data types to us, like a string. It always use integer, characters, date. So we call that a composite data type. Okay. So we started this way, type, and then we give it a name, and we end it with end type, and then we define whatever variables that we put inside that type. So if we created a type called student, typically a student have a first name, last name, date of birth, year group, and form group. Okay, so that is all related to the type student. So when we have a type student, it means that we are able to create variables also with that name. So here, okay, I want you to have a look, please, here and tell me what is that?
Declaration of the student.
The variable is called what in this case?
Pupil 1 and pupil 2.
Okay, and the type?
Student.
Okay, student is what?
It's the data type.
Composite. Let us say composite data type. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. And what is that?
Declaring a form, which is an array for the composite data type student.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And what is that?
Declaring another this season and next season as the data type, composite data type season.
No, but wait. There is wait. Season is not composite. Season is non-composite. Let's say. Why I say is like that. Okay, because I created here season.
Oh, okay.
So that is non-composite data type. It's an enumerated one. Okay. So okay, let's have a look because this is clear. This is new. We never used it before, so never mind the confusion. Okay, I want to see now. Tell me, please. Okay, so now you know that these two types is from type season. The season is non-composite data type, right? Okay, now tell me, what is that?
Declaring my pointer as a data type TI pointer, which
Okay.
is a pointer variable, if I'm not wrong.
It's yes, it's yes, it is a type that is carrying an address to a memory address of integer. Okay. Now let's have a look more. Okay. Now, what is this guy doing here? So is that what he defined here?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
giving it the data, which is the last name and its first name.
Okay.
Also, its date of birth and year group, form group.
So is it clear to you that he used dot when he is accessing the content of a composite data type?
Yeah.
This is similar to classes. We also use dot when we accessing either variables or even methods of the class. But here we don't have methods. It's a type that carry variables inside. So inside that, this pupil, because it's a type of student, so it have whatever content that the type have. So the type have here, you see here, what we're having. So that was what he's trying to access and assign. Okay. We move to the next. Tell me, please, what is he doing here?
He's changing the information from, he's inserting the information of the 11th pupae to the first pupil to the second pupil 2.
Okay. Yes, you are correct. So this means that whatever we inserted here will have also the same values inside pupil 2. Okay, perfect. And what is that?
For the array from 1 to 30, every year group they go to, they add another for the next to move on to the next index.
What is the meaning of that?
It's like in the array they move on from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. They go up the list.
Go up the list or go up the year? See,
oh yeah, go up.
so this is a year group, right?
Yeah.
And whatever is stored inside the year group, in your, if you can see here, what is that?
It's an integer.
Okay, so this integer represent a year, right? It means that a student year, right? It's a pupil year.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's adding 1 to it. What does it mean?
It becomes 7.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So he's looping through this form array, and all the students inside, he's increasing their year. Okay, that's good. Okay, what is that? Sorry. Yeah, now tell me, what about that?
Is inserting the season, this season, putting in the variable spring, which is from the non-composite data type,
Okay,
and then the pointer is pointed to this season, which is just added as spring, and the
okay,
next season be where the pointer is adding 1, which shows the next season. I believe summer after spring, if it's in the
yes,
yeah, the
yes.
non-composite.
Okay, so whatever is stored inside my pointer is not spring. Okay, it is the memory address where spring is stored. So here there is a place in the memory where we store the spring.
It's like an arrow pointing to the this season.
Yes, so yes, so we have whatever address OX 100 in the memory, and then my pointer is storing that. Okay, but when we use that arrow in this way, we are actually getting whatever inside. So this, he goes to this address and bring whatever this address is pointing to, and he add 1 to that, because the way that he pointed to it here. So you see, this is a difference between this and this. Okay, so now next season does not have it's not of a type pointer. It's actually of type what? Next season. Can you see here?
Yeah.
It's just a season, right? So you said it will be having summer, right? Okay, good. So I believe we have gone through before the input and output from this in the pseudocode. What it does, right? We already know that, and we already know the plus, subtraction, multiplication, division. I think it's not difficult at all, except that we didn't talk about div and mode. Just now we talk about div, right? So div inside the Python, we use 2 slashes. Is it fine like that? But inside the pseudocode, we use the word div. We don't use 2 slashes. So what this integer division does? Integer number before the decimal point. So it returns to me the integer number before the decimal point. Okay. Now, did you hear about modulus before, or mode?
Not mod, but yeah, modulus.
Okay. So do you know if I have one mode? Oh, yeah. You know the modulus, I believe, with this sign. Do you know it with this sign, right, like that?
I know it as straight lines.
String length? Really?
Like at the end and at the front.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So in pseudocode, so if I say 1 mod 5, 1 modulus 5, what will be the result?
5.
1. So wait here. No, I want to take you to your code, your line of code. Wait, give me a second. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's have a look. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
So this represents the modulus, as we said, it was mode. It is mode inside inside the pseudocode. So I want you to look, please, with me. If I put here 25, why is that? Why is it 0? And why, when I put 26, it have 1? So 25, when I say modulus 5, equal 0. But when I put 26 modulus 5, it equal 1. Why? Because okay, now I take this number first and I think together. Let's think. What is the nearest number? If I multiply 5 with, will give me the nearest to this. So 5 times 4 equal 20, right? 5 times 5 equal 25. 5 times 6 equals 30, right? So the nearest with a little reminder is 5. 5 times 5 equal 25. So it means that I would have a reminder 1. Does this make any sense to you, to what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. So if I put 27, what do you think will be the result?
2.
2. Okay. So if I put 29,
4.
okay. If I put 30,
0.
yes. Okay. Yes, perfect. Okay. Okay. So actually, the modulus have many other usages, but so if I put 0, what will be the result? 0. So if I put 0, the result will be 0. If I put 5, also the result will be 0. Okay, but what if I put 4? It's 4. Yes, and if I put 3, the result will be 3. Okay, so if I want something to repeat once every 5 times, I can simply put an if statement like that. So if I want something to, let's say, x is changing in a for loop, and then I want this to occur. I want this condition to occur, and check if this condition, if the modulus output of the modulus equals 0. I want you to print something. Okay, print one. Let's say once every 5 loops. So every time, if I have a for loop here for x in range of 10, and then I put the for loop like that. So that line will print only 3 times. so every, no, actually 3 times, no, 2 times only. Yes, 3 times. Yes, 3 times. So x here, we already know x will start from 0 until it reach what? 9? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I run this, when do you think? Let's see. Let's have a look. So although I put the range here to 10, but this line actually printed 2 times, because I said to it, every time x modulus 5 equals 0, print this. And this will happen in 2 conditions. When x equals 0 and when x equals 5 only. So that's why you see 2 lines. So if you want to confirm that, we say x equal here, and we say x like that. Sorry, x like that. So you see? Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully nothing like that comes in the exam, but just in case, you know already if there is, because I saw that in a lot of questions, but not in this specific exam, but in general programming question, this is common.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let's continue. Okay, so we already know all over what we need to know about the division and the modulus. Okay, one more thing. Sometimes he gives you an expression and he wants you to get the result of the expression. So he will tell you 1 multiplied by 2, and he will tell you plus 3 minus 1, and then he tell you evaluate this expression and tell me what is the result. Okay, so of course, if you have Python, then you can just write this in Python and it will tell you what is the result. But you need to understand. First, normally we start with the left side. Okay, but there is certain things that have more precedence than the others. So multiplication and division need to be done first. Everything with multiplication and division need to be done first. After this, we do whatever we have with addition and subtraction. So one more thing, if you are using brackets, then you have to do whatever inside the brackets first. Okay, so the brackets have the first as the highest precedence, and come after this multiplication and division, and come after that the plus and minus. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, whatever we are having here, greater than, less than, bigger than, or equal, all this we already know from before. Okay, now these functions actually we already took. So can you still remember that? Can you still remember the right function? It goes to the right and it takes 3 characters.
Yeah.
Okay, and the length here, it is the same, that similar to what we have taken, and it counts all the elements inside the string. Okay, we move to the next. He taking mid, so he start from 2, and he take PCD. Okay, and lowercase, he changed the uppercase to a lowercase character, and uppercase, he take a lowercase and he changed it to uppercase. And we also said that if we want to concatenate, two strings in pseudocode, then we use ampersand like that. So to add a space, he add here a space like that. I think we already know that, right? Okay, so a numeric function. Okay, Now, if you want to get, I think this is similar to Python. So if you want to get that part out of this decimal point number, then you use int function. Also in Python, we use int. Okay. I think I gave you exercise with a random number generator. So here also is a random number generator, but in pseudocode. So they use rand, and he will get any number from 0 to x, and x is not inclusive. So so he will get anything from 0 to 86. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yes,
what if we put returns integer? It will be given as a whole number, right?
No, but in this, if you want to get out an integer, you can just use this. So this will not return, will only return a number with a decimal point. But if you want integer, you can pass it through this. You can pass whatever output. So you say x equal rand, and after this x, you say x equal int. No, sorry, this is not the proper way to do it. So we say x equal int x, or we say y equal int x. So what is int x? We say x equal, but actually, sorry, we are talking about, no, this should not be this way, because this is pseudocode. So x equal rand 10, for example, and this return a real number in x. It will be stored in x. Then I take whatever real number that's stored in x, and I pass it through this int function. This int function will take only this portion of the number that is not having a decimal point. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we still have a few minutes remaining. So, okay. So this is a normal if statement. We also have seen it in pseudocode. So, but I'm not sure if you have seen before, but actually we are able to make a nested if statements. So inside the main if statement that we're having like that, we are able to use another if statement. So let's say here in this case, he said if challenge score bigger than the champion score, then he will check another if statement here. And then based on that, he will make an output. Okay. And inside the else, he also can make another if statement inside. Okay. So there is no issue that to make two if statements. In the Python code, we use else if, but here we don't have else if. We can make a nested if else's in this way. And remember always that here there is no semicolon, only in Python. Here in pseudocode we only have then, and we don't have any semicolons or colons. And we have here and if, but we don't have that in Python. Okay, so the case is actually something that we don't have in Python. Okay, so when we have the case, do you still remember the get points function? The get points function actually could have been implemented with the case in pseudocode, but because we don't have any case functionality in Python, so we needed to use if else. So the first case, he told you, okay, the number of attempts. So case of attempts, if we want to use the previous example, case of attempts, when the value was 1, then he gets the points as it is. He doesn't touch the points. When the attempts is 2, then he divides the number of points by 2. So, and we could have done something similar to that. But since we don't have a case in Python, then we needed to use the if statements. So did you see before? Did we see before that we have done something in pseudocode with a case or no?
No.
Okay, so please have a look here. So he asked to input a move, and then he said case of move. Move is a variable. So then he said if move is a character of W, then he will do something to the position. And if it is S, he will do something else. If it is A, he will do something. If it is D, he will do something else to the position. But then if it is not any of these three, then he applies the case otherwise. And then he called peep.
Okay.
Okay. Let's stop here.
Okay.
And